Hi, my name is Marcus Wells. I'm John Samuel's personal therapist, close friend, confidant, and roommate. I'm John Samuel's sponsor for a few different anonymous groups, one of them being The Bottle. I am John Samuel's dog sitter. He doesn't have a dog, but there's one inside of him. Rough. I'm John Samuel's ghostwriter at times. If you've listened to any of his songs, a couple of them are me. I give John Samuel relationship advice. I am John Samuel's ex-boyfriend, soon-to-be stepdad. John Samuel's good time pal, his last phone call before he goes to sleep, first in the morning. The person he comes to with any sort of personal issue. I'm the person he comes to with any sort of non-personal issue. I help him shake it in the bathroom. I specialize in a very immersive kind of therapy. I put John Samuel in the passenger seat and me up front, and I take the wheel and hit the gas. No brakes. And I ride through his life from the beginning until the end. I'm John Samuel's rock. I'm his role. I'm the only one that will be there for him until the end. Does that make me a hero? Yeah, it does. Here he is now. Silly boy.
And we just have a couple questions for you, if that's all right.
Sure.
We're just trying to put the timeline together. Do you mind filling in the gaps for us? Like, what really got the party started?
Well, I'd have to say it's when the second pizza hit the tower. So, I'm there with my wife, talking to a potential client, and that's when it happened. The first pizza. And then we're talking, and we're dancing. The liquor's flowing, the girls look good, and before I even knew it, a second pizza. The kind of opportunity that only comes once in a lifetime. I had to seize it. And there we are, dancing, sweat trickling down my sideburns, and then it happened, the second pizza. For a moment, I blacked out, and when I came to, the cheese was sliding down my face, and I tore my shirt off like an animal, right from my chest, which scared a couple people, like an animal. That was a sort of boundary that needed to be crossed. I was an animal, a hyena crying in the night, like an animal. I was like an animal, like a wild beast in the night. I was an animal. That's when it started.
What happened with the pizza?
Well, what always happens with pizza, we went back to our most base being. We were cavemen, Neanderthals, really, just on the hunt for meat and food and connection. The sweat, I couldn't tell what was oil and what was perspiration. I took a piece in my mouth and locked eyes with my sweet betrothed, and we Lady and the Tramped it like no one has ever seen before. Crust side first in my mouth. Couldn't even fit it. And then, when our lips touched, it was like the creation of Adam again. They say the gods came down and dwelt with man that night. I wouldn't say that. We were the gods. Titans amongst mortals. Heavenly power reigned inside my fruit-filled loins. The gods came. Pfft. I came.
Were there any illegal substances at this party?
Oh, yeah! Are you kidding? Were there illegal Well, first of all, I'm the DDD, the designated drunk driver. Guilty. So I come in, trench coat, and I've got Klonopil, aloxicillin, Tolipin, cosmic dust, sandbags, Tootie Who's, Dudley Doos, s'mores baggies, Tiny Tim, a big horn, tranquilizers, I've got twinquilizers, tonic water, sparkling water, amoxicillin, penicillin, psilocybin, ayahuasca, Klonopin, Tinkletoe, and I had daddy's rock in my ass. I was there to make sure that this party went off without any hitches. It was my duty to make sure John Samuel got the music video that he wanted. The music video that he deserved. And we did just that. We lost a lot of good men that day, but we're a team. God. We'll always be a team. I like to think of myself as sort of a father figure to John Samuel. I raised that boy from nothing. And it's my job to set him on a course, set him on the straight and narrow. I lost every dog I ever owned. Every single one of them ran away. John Samuel won't run away. You know, every single dog I've ever owned has run away. Not this one.
Did you see any fights break out?
No, I didn't see any fights. I didn't even hear about any fights. Were you at the party? I was at the party and I didn't hear anything about a fight. So it sounds like you're trying to spread misinformation about John Samuel's party. And let me tell you, I don't like liars, okay? I mean, look at you with your watch and your earrings and your necklace. I know those are fucking fake. I can see the green coming up around your neck over here, you fucking piece of shit. There were no fights at this party. If there were fights, I would have seen it. I would have been there and I would have put a stop to it. There were no fucking fights there, okay? Are we clear? You're nothing to me. We should do a session. Marcus Wells. DDD. There were no fights! Sometimes I get really angry. Shut the fuck.
We've heard some reports about a gambling ring. We're following up on those, seeing if there's any legitimacy.
Oh, no. I don't think there was anything at the party. Like, there was no gambling. But let me tell you, I try to run a few parlays, a few over-unders, like, on the daily, you know what I mean, for some passive income. I do the ponies, I like basketball, I like ice skating, I like Love Island. And every time it's award season, that's my time to shine. As sort of a cultural aficionado and an entrepreneur, it's sort of where my money mind sort of like meets, and I'm able to cook a little bit in this like this shady back room. It's like DraftKings and things like that, but I've also got some Reddit threads where people just sort of like throw down money using crypto, of course. You know, I did like a over under on the chances of La La Land winning, and that really fucked me. That put me in a that financially ruined me. I lost my house. My dog ran away. I was sort of in a K-hole for a few weeks after that. But gambling ring at the party? No, I don't think so. You know, I actually, it was my gambling addiction that got me into mental health. I sought help because of my gambling addiction, and I went into that room with that man, and I talked him down. I really verbally assaulted him in a way that he sort of handed his license over to me. And that's when I took on the name Marcus Wells. There's no pictures on those certificates or anything like that. I was David Swain before this. Yeah, no, I don't use my real name. None of us use our real names. I am a creation. I am the creator's creation, and it is my job to create beyond that. I am God. You ever walk into a therapist's office and convince him to hand his job right over to you? Take his license, his clients, his house, fuck his wife, lose his dog, feed his kids? I have. Marcus Wells. Nice to meet you.
So the next question is, how drunk and how slutty did it get?
Have you okayed this question with John Samuel? Yeah, I'm just gonna call it. I'm just gonna check in. I'm gonna call him. Hey there, little guy. Hi. How's my prince doing? Yeah? I'm doing this thing, and they're asking me a lot of questions about the party, and I want to see where your head's at. I want to see how you're feeling about all this. Tell me everything. No, stop right there. Be silent. Good boy. Now go. Interesting. Hey, sorry. All right. I'll call you soon, okay? Hey, get some rest. I love you too. Okay. Bye. You were saying? Drunk and slutty! God, he's so good. He's sort of like a Christ-like figure to me. You know, when he allows himself to open up his wings in that way, his crystal wings, it's like watching the first creation. He's like a flower growing in a garden, just waiting for the right moment to bloom. He's making the women laugh. He's making the men scared of something that they might become. He's an unshackled man. He is something that we can all strive to be. He's a figure generations have yet to behold. And that's because of me. We had a good time. We always have a good time. Since I met John Samuel, we've had no bad times. Happiness is ours. He holds the sunshine in the palm of his hands. Sadness is a choice I choose for both of us. I'm up in the clouds and I'm looking around and it's his world and you're all living in it, but I'm in charge. I mean, every Queen Elizabeth needs her Prince Harry. Princess Diana needed her Dodi Al-Fayed. And every beauty needs its beast. And every beast needs its Gaston. And Gaston just needed someone to listen. Marcus Wells, therapist. Hey, all you world travelers out there. Yeah, I'm one of you. Listen, I was in Lisbon for a little bit as a forklift driver. I moved out to Catalan in Spain, where I worked as a stunt double for a Spanish actor. And then I took my time and went down to Greece, where I reenacted sort of the like weird naked fights that they used to do. Went to Germany, got back in touch with my family roots. Went to Poland, was actually a Kanye West mental health expert over there. Taught a few seminars. I've made the most advancements in research into the Kennedy assassination. Clue, there were 3 shooters. I got this scar spearfishing in the Baltic Islands, did ayahuasca, and I got to see Martin Luther King's dream. Spoiler alert, it was disco. I was in the writer's room for the last season of Lost, and spoiler alert, I wanted them to burn in hell. I was the doorman at the Trump Hotel for a little while, and spoiler alert, his hair is real. I was on the boat that went to rescue all the survivors of the Titanic, and spoiler alert, they were all dead. We made up all of those survivors. I sat courtside at a Lakers game, and spoiler alert, I am one of LeBron James's mortal enemies. I was briefly a life coach for Luigi Mangione, and spoiler alert, there were 3 shooters. I had a passionate love affair with Tom Cruise one hot Sicilian summer, and spoiler alert, he sung like a horse. You know, one of the highest highs a man can have is watching the life drain out of a dog's eyes. That's why I love I Am Legend. That's why I love Marley and Me. It's why I love Lassie. It's why I love Where the Red Fern Grows. It's why I hate Air Bud. You know, people used to call me a snake in the grass. Until this party. And the only Coke I ever had was Diet Coke. Until this party. I had a crippling relationship with alcohol. Until this party. I used to work night shifts at the Sam's Club. Until this party. My wife and I hadn't been intimate with each other for 3 years. Until this party. And she looked at me and she said, "Who's that tootin'?" And I sold that story to Bob Kane at DC Comics. You know, I'm still at that phase in my life where I kind of want to kill my dad and be with my mom. My wife looks exactly like Mommy. I had to put Mommy in a home. And when I dropped her off, her fingers were wrapped so tightly around my arms. And I peeled them back one by one. And I gave her a little kiss on the cheek. And I said, "Don't you worry, Mommy, I'm coming back for you." And when I do, I'm bringing John Samuel. That's why I was at the party. No one gets drunk and slutty like Mommy. You know, a lot of stories start so happy. And you never know where they're gonna end up. The way that party ended, I'm gonna think about that for a long time. You know, a lot of people at that party, they were my friends. I've got a lot of friends. Did you meet Michael? He's one of my guys. I bet you I could fit my whole fist in my mouth right now. You ever seen a man cry on live TV? That was this party. You ever watched your wife fall in love with another man while you're just standing there, watching, helpless? Let me tell you about this party. If Jake Holly ever gets out of prison, I'm gonna kill him. Jake Holly, are you watching this? If Jake Holly ever gets out of prison, I'll kill him. I'll rip those tiny fucking earrings right off his ears. Let me tell you about this party. You wanna see a magic trick? I'm gonna make Jake Holly disappear. Let me tell you a story about how smoking saves lives. You know, my wife and I, we shared a single cigarette together before it all went to hell. So a Sikh, a rabbi, and a pastor walk into a bar. My first kiss was when I was 6 years old. With tongue. Let me show you some pictures of my exes. They're beautiful. Leather, yellow leather, red leather. Give me the gift of a grip top sock. A clip drape, ship shape, tip top sock. Not a spliff stick, slapstick, slipshod stock, but a plastic elastic slack swap. Unique New York. Unique boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy. Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell. Well, I would have gone to the island if somebody invited me. Island boy, I want to be an island boy. Wait, they did what there? That's fucking disgusting. An island boy. You know, Justin Bieber once asked me for a picture. Me. I was James Franco's life coach for a very long time. I lived with him. I laughed with him. We ate together, drank together, slept together, showered, took over his financials. We did group classes, me, him, Shia LaBeouf, Mel Gibson, like, just that energy in one room is cosmic. Of course, I want to know when someone goes missing. Where did they go? I love it when they put those kids on the sides of the milk cartons. It makes me want to drink the milk even more. You know me. I was part of a gifted children's program. Top of my class. Trust me, I know a good party when I see one. I actually ran an experimental drug program at Harvard Medical. We radicalized the fuck out of those chimpanzees. Hey, do you believe in angels? Have you ever seen one? You look a lot like a demon. Fallen from grace. Marcus Wells, therapist.
Teach us the Marcus Wells part.
Now listen, I only got about 5 minutes before the plane takes off. I actually have a car waiting outside, so can we wrap this up? If you heard some banging from the trunk, it's an old car. You guys have any dogs? I could walk your dog if you want. Can I walk your dog? Let me walk your dog. Can I see your dog? Let me see your dog. Puppies! Aerosmith was a deeply underappreciated band. Steven Tyler. He was a beautiful woman. Sorry. I'm a therapist. You have 1 minute. You want to play hide and seek? 30, 29, 28. Puppy!